Okay, I thought it might be fun to do a flight around San Francisco. The real purpose of this is to show some of the graphics for people that may not have seen any of the photogrammetry based cities in Flight Simulator. I've put the weather on realistic, but I've moved the time to about 6:30 in the evening, so we should see the sun setting as we fly over. I'm starting at Half Moon Bay. If we have a look in little nav map, so we're going to take off from Half Moon Bay. We'll fly out over the land to San Francisco International. We'll do a circuit of the airport to have a look, and then we'll fly up to look at the city and go around the edge of the city, maybe do a few circuits around to see some of the landmarks like Golden Gate Park, have a look at the bridge, fly over to Marinside and Mill Valley, Larkspur, San Rafael, and hopefully we'll land probably over at Gnos a bit further into the flight. We might land at San Rafael. We'll see how we go. Okay, so that's the plan. So we're starting from Half Moon Bay. Let's get started. I'm starting on the runway with the engine already running. System's already set up. So let's go and check the flaps. Yep, flaps are on the first setting. And you can see that it's behind the yoke over here. That's the flaps there. Okay, so press F. Raise myself up in the seat so I can see what I'm doing. Okay, release the wheel brakes and we're on our way. I've purposely turned the volume of the sim down a little bit so you can hear me over the top of it, and so the drone of the engine doesn't become too annoying, to be honest. So we're in a Cessna 172. So we're coming up through 70 knots and rotate, and we're up. It's a bit of a crosswind. And it's quite murky. There's quite a lot of low-level cloud around at the moment. So let's have a look at the instruments. We want to make a gentle right turn while we're climbing. Hopefully the bay isn't going to be this murky everywhere. So we'll keep climbing out, raise the flaps, get some speed on hopefully. So I want to be about 45 degrees. So you can see the top of the hills poking out of the clouds over here. We'll have a look around while we're climbing. Or we would if we could see anything. You can see some of the nearby hills. I guess this is one of the risks of the Bay Area, isn't it? That you're going to get this low-lying fog that comes in off the sea. Hopefully though, once we get the other side of the hills, it will dissipate somewhat. So if we look out the side, we can see just below the mist the line of trees. So let's keep going with our climb. We're doing nearly 80 knots, so we could actually go steeper if we needed to. We should be able to do this pretty much in a straight line. I have programmed a flight plan which we can loosely follow, so we can have a look. I'm loosely following it, so we'll see how we go. So above the mist is actually a clear day. It's just that sea fog, isn't it? Or smog. It's quite interesting how it's kind of a veil that draws itself over the land. So getting a bit of turbulence off these hills. Trying to maintain a fairly steady course. Okay, so this was a bad day to do this, because look at the cloud in the bay. It's ridiculous. So I may exercise one of the things you can do in Flight Simulator in a minute, because yeah, look at that. It's just a whiteout all the way down the bay. The bay is completely full of smog. So what I'm going to do is one of the things you can do in Flight Simulator, which is quite lovely, is go and change the weather. So instead of saying live weather, which is it's accurate to what's actually happening right now, we're going to say we want should we try broken clouds and see what that might look like? Give it a moment to update itself. Okay, it's put us in the cloud. So how about scattered cloud? That'll do. That's better. So while we were in the cloud, the aircraft went out of control and we turned through 90 degrees. So we're now coming back out over towards San Francisco International Airport. To be honest, I think we'll turn the cloud down even more to make it look quite pretty in the sky. We'll have a few clouds around, but not much. That's better. So cut the throttle back a bit. Have a look around. Yeah. So we're going to fly down, skirt around the outside of San Francisco International Airport, and then fly down to the city and have a look. Cut the engine back, we're getting quite fast, 110 knots. Again, I haven't got any air traffic control on, and this would be breaking all sorts of aviation laws because I'm about to cross over the approach, or departure, sorry, for the runways. They tend to approach over the bay and take off. Depends which way the wind is, of course, but quite often there's an onshore breeze. So hopefully with the sun going down, what's the time now in the game? When I reset the time, did I not reset the clock? Weather? Yeah, 1839. Okay. So hopefully as the sun goes down, we'll get that lovely orange sky happening. It'll be out that way, won't it? Yeah, the sun's over there somewhere. We'll get a better look at it when we make the turn around the back of the airport. So we can scoot sideways in the chair so we can get to look, see how many aeroplanes are around tonight. I'm sure if I went and joined, for example, the American servers, I would see a lot more aeroplanes in the air. Should we try that? I'll show you a trick you can do. If I press escape and I go up here, I can say what servers I'm joining. So I could say, for example, I want West USA. So the ping is going to be a lot slower, but I don't really care about that. So then we go to there, and oh, did I actually apply it? Yes, I did. So in a few minutes we should see some aeroplanes spawning in the air around us, because people typically leave it on automatic and then it joins their local server. So hopefully people playing this in America make a bit more sense. There's a 747 down there taxiing. Yeah, you can see aeroplanes spawning. They're appearing in front of our eyes. There's another one appeared. So this is going to look crazy busy in a few minutes. If there's anyone else down there. No. So that's San Francisco International Airport. There's a plane taking off there, look, you can see. Another one taxiing down, another one taxiing for that runway. It's a bit odd that he's taxiing along there, unless he's going to cross the runway, come down here. Okay. So let's turn gently and we'll carry on up towards the city, and we'll do hopefully some orbits around the city for sunset, which will be lovely. We'll probably see some other general aviation aircraft in the sky along the way, so I'll have to keep an eye out for some lights. So what I might do to speed things up a little bit is put us into slew mode. So if I press Y on the keyboard and then press 8 and hold it on for a while, we can go zooming past. Actually, let's pull it back a bit and give it some time to load. So we can see the Bay Bridge there, and we can see it loading scenery. It will usually, obviously, as you're going along slowly, it gets a chance to do this in plenty of time. I've only got this on medium level for the graphics, so we could go and turn that up and you'll see the difference that that makes. So if I were to go into press escape and I go into general and graphics, you can see at the moment I have got everything on medium. If I go and change this up to high end, it will make things draw further out. So if I apply that, applying the graphic settings, and go back and resume, you will see the simulator. It will take a hit on the frame rate, but you'll see it start to draw a lot more. So yeah, suddenly the buildings are drawn out right the way across the bay. So for our purposes, this is probably what we want. If we do a nice tour of the city, I'll make sure I trim the aeroplane out before we get there. How are we doing? So I'm just trimming this up so we're not losing any altitude while we're poodling along slowly. And then we get to have a look at the city from the aircraft. So you can see there's some big boats down here. That one looks like it's tipped over. No, it's obviously some sort of container. There's a dry dock there by the look of it. A couple of boats moored alongside each other there. There's another one here waiting. And here comes the city. There's is that a baseball ground? Must be, yeah. I'm not sure which team plays there. There's a lock there by the look of it, and I guess that must be where they either service boats or something like that. Some sort of dock. Okay, so here comes San Francisco. This is the Bay Bridge. A couple of expensive super yachts, as they call them down here. A lot of the road network. You can see the traffic moving on the roads. Skyscrapers. Transamerica building. It is stunning, isn't it? Having this level of detail in a simulator that covers the whole world, and this is free scenery that comes with it. Well, it streams it from the internet, to be honest, but I mean, look at the level of detail of these buildings. I'm not going to fly over there because of privacy sake, but I have a friend who lives over on the hill over there, and we've actually gone close to her house and done a, circled around the house taking pictures of it, and she said, yeah, it's dead on. It's obviously it's exactly as it is in the real world. So we're flying up slowly, looking down at the city streets. We should, going this way, pass by I guess we need to go further over towards Golden Gate Park. Should be over here. If we go over towards it. I mean, look at the level of detail, it's just nuts. Every single building. To the last little detail. What I'm aiming to do, at the end of Golden Gate Park, there's like a domed building, I think. I think I'm right about that. We'll find out when we get there. But once we've gone there, we'll turn back round. You can see the radio tower above the hill over there. It'd be cool to fly over the park anyway. See if they've got the layout of the fountains and things modelled into it. I wouldn't be surprised if it's absolutely accurate. There's the church. Oh, perhaps I'm thinking of the park over by the bridge. We'll fly along anyway and have a look at the park. Yeah, it's all there. I've walked along there. On a blazing hot day, it was ridiculous. It's a wonderful, wonderful park. Okay, let's fly back towards the Golden Gate Bridge. The jerkiness is the mouse, where I'm trying to control the view while I turn. If I let go, you can see it's perfectly smooth, apart from the aeroplane being obviously buffeted around. There's the city over there. Oh, there's an airliner. Must be on its way to San Francisco, I imagine, to the international airport. And here comes the Golden Gate Bridge. We'll fly down the end of here in a moment. I want to find that building I was talking about, the one with the dome. Or actually, maybe not. We'll carry on while sunset is going on. Has the sun already gone down? I think we might have already missed it. It happened while we were messing around. So we're going to scoot across to the other side of the cockpit. So to do that, we're going to view forwards, scoot across, and have a look. Yeah, you kind of get these moire patterns, which is a bit annoying, where the resolution obviously of the monitor isn't quite good enough to see that it's actually the water pattern underneath the bridge that's making those patterns. I imagine if I had anti-aliasing turned up a bit more, it would get rid of that, but my graphics card isn't quite powerful enough to do that sort of thing. So let's have a close-up look at the supports of the bridge. It's pretty accurate, isn't it? That's pretty amazing, really. So I'm just breaking all sorts of aviation laws here with buzzing the Golden Gate Bridge. Okay, let's have a fly over Larkspur and then down to San Rafael. So if we go back into the cockpit, the pilot's seat, sorry. Going to fly down towards Larkspur Landing. This is the Mill Valley along here. think I've got that right. Let's have a look at the map quickly, just to see if my memory served me correctly. Yeah, Mill Valley. So can we get closer to the window? Not easily. I'll have to just fly away from the valley slightly. So you can see where the AI has not learned how to do boats yet, that they use to build the scenery. So I imagine in future updates this will be littered with lots and lots of small boats. Right, I'm going to open the engine up because we're starting to fly very nose up because I'm trying to go so slowly. Let's see. Okay. So if we start to turn gently around, we should come over the headland and see Larkspur. I think. Just check the map. Yeah. So we're coming up to Larkspur Landing on the Marin side of the bay. I think the ferry building is on here, but it isn't modelled terrifically accurately. It hasn't got the roofs of the building modelled properly. Yeah, we're flying almost straight towards it. I think it should be down here. Or is it over there? I can never remember how this works. Let's have a look on the map. So yeah, so there's the car park for the ferry building, there's the ferry building itself. So a lot of people that live this side of the bay catch the ferry down here. You can see the ferries there in the water. And that's how they get to the city every day, and on the way home obviously as well. It's a wonderful part of the world. So let's have a look out across. Yeah, there's the ferry building. There's the car park for it. And the sun is going down, it's getting dark in a hurry. Suddenly the world is lit up by all of the street lights. It's very pretty. Okay. Better think about landing and bring this flight to an end before it gets too enormous. So we've got San Rafael Airport over here, so if I fly over the next headland and then we could fly straight in, I guess. So let's straighten up a bit. So this is the next headland. Actually we should be able to see Treasure Island from here, shouldn't we? Let's back that way. Yeah, it's just out of view. Yeah, there it is. Okay, let's look back forwards. looking for the airport now. Is that it over there? No. Okay, we're running parallel to the runway. Probably be able to see it more clearly once we're over the headland. Let's do a gentle turn left. Scenery in Flight Simulator 2020 is ridiculous, isn't it? It looks so real. And the modelling of the sky. I think the only thing that lets it down at the moment is the physics and the autopilots on the big jets. That doesn't, obviously, is not modelled to a steady level yet. I'm still looking for the runway. There's the runway down there. That is a tiny, tiny runway. But we're in a Cessna 172, there's no reason why we can't make that. Okay, so I need to start preparing to slow down. Putting the flaps down, pulled the engine back, get rid of some speed. So you can see now the flaps are all the way down, which will retard our speed. There's the runway. I may do some manoeuvres here just to lose some more speed. And altitude while we're at it. Yeah, we're still far too high. I'm going to do an orbit. Which means you get to see the bay once again as we rotate round. I'm just trying to lose some height and speed. That's better. I have no idea what the stall speed is for a Cessna. I'm presuming it's about 60 knots. Maybe 50. So here we come into San Rafael Airport in a Cessna 172. And it's getting dark. Can we turn the lights on inside? Apparently not. Oh, yeah, there we go. And we're down. Flaps up. Open the engine up. I'm not sure where we park here, or we just pull onto the grass. Is that parking up to the right? I guess it is. Because there's an exit here. Whee! Just slowly. Oh, this is a taxiway, isn't it? I hope. Okay, I'm just going to leave my aircraft here for the evening. Hopefully not too far from wherever I'm staying. Let's have a look from outside. There we go, Cessna 172 landed at San Rafael. I'm sure the airport isn't entirely accurate. I'm sure the real one has a couple of buildings here and there. But it's still pretty amazing. Okay, I'm going to leave it there.